Hey moms, so welcome to the Momtrepreneur Life Coffee Chat. This is a place where we grab our coffee, in our favorite mug, our Keep Calm Mom On mug, and put our hair up in a ponytail. Mine's not up in a ponytail, but I do have my hair tie. And we just pull back the curtain on the Momtrepreneur life, and I give you a real life glimpse into what it's like day after day to be a momtrepreneur and all of the balancing and juggling that comes with it. So this week I was going to talk about, and these are unedited and totally unscripted. Well, for the most part. I do write notes. I do have to say I do write notes. So if you are really enjoying these chats, I would like to invite you to support the show. And you can do that by visiting Ko-fi, that's ko-fi.com/Life Unboxed blog. And you can buy more coffee for the show. And it's great because you don't even have to create an account or even put your credit card in, because it just processes things through PayPal. So it's really easy to do. You just hit the donate button and take it from there. So let's get some more coffee. Okay, so last week you may have noticed that I skipped the Momtrepreneur Life chat, and I had this big topic I was going to talk about: work-life balance. So, which is always kind of like the number one question I'm always asked is how do you balance everything? So it is an important topic, but got hijacked because every one of us got sick. So I'm still recovering, as you can hear and tell. And so I've kind of shifted what we're going to talk about to something that's more, I'm not going to say more practical, but very practical in the moment. And that is what to do with your business and with your homeschool when everyone is sick. So we did finally get the big C. And let's have some more coffee. And honestly, it's, from my own experience, it's not the sickest that I've been. It's up there in the top 5. I'll give you that. But I've gone to urgent care and to the doctor for other sicknesses, and I didn't go for this one. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's not the sickest I've ever been. The kids, oh my goodness, like the 2-year-old, the only reason I knew she was sick is because she was coughing and I would check her temperature. Otherwise, she was totally wound up and running around all over the place. You would have no idea that she was sick. The other kids pretty much bounced back the same way. My daughter did get hit harder than the others, but she always does. It doesn't matter what it is. She will always get the sickest out of all of the other kids. So it was kind of like followed typical patterns, and the other kids were like sick for 3 days and then they were totally done. So my husband and I are still like recovering and dragging, but it's a good thing we have teenagers who can cook for us and family that will drop food off on the porch, because you're really tired from it. So you have the fever, you have the coughs. I got very congested, more so than my husband did. And so you're just kind of like worn out, and it just seems to like hang on, like a little like toddler that just won't let go of your leg and is just hanging on and hanging on. That's kind of how I feel. But we are getting over it. And again, we didn't go to the doctor or anything like that. I did have more of a manly voice last week. So one of the other reasons why I did not record. So we just followed some protocols as far as taking vitamin D and zinc and quercetin, and we're recovering. So still tired, but I was able to work this week. Okay. Yeah. So what do you do when you're sick. So first, again, work with good clients who are really understanding. And I do. And everyone knew. So I tried to work some last week, but it just didn't really happen. And I'd say by the day 4, that's when I really got hit. So when it started, like the first 3 days, I'm like, this is really not a big deal. And then day 4, this is when I really got hit with everything and just kind of felt all around miserable. So towards the end of the week, work was done. But again, work with good clients and everyone is understanding, especially when it comes to something like the big C. So this is kind of how it played out. So basically after the beginning of the week, I was putting in a couple of hours, but then afterwards I was just like, I'm done. I can't do it. So I pretty much just took that week off. So to plan for these things, because you are a freelancer, and that means you don't get paid sick time, you don't get paid vacation, typically, or things like that. So what you need to do is save up for your own sick time. So every week, take what you can from what you're getting paid, or monthly, whatever, however you're getting paid, and put money aside to at least cover, let's say, a week. I've been out. Oh, and yesterday was my birthday. So yeah, it was truly unforgettable. I will never forget the birthday I had COVID. So what you want to do is, because you can't plan for these sicknesses, we're not scheduling it in as much as like I would prefer to do it that way. And that way, I can schedule it around more opportune times besides my birthday. I don't think that's the best time to get sick. And so set at least a week aside to cover sick days for yourself. So that way you're not panicking and you can actually take the rest that you need while you're sick, because it's not going to do you or anyone else any good if you are trying to work while you're sick. Now, yes, there are times when it's not a big deal, like you may have a cold or whatever, but there are times when you could be sicker than that. And so you want to plan for that so you have a cushion. So as far as school goes, I honestly let the kids decide if they want to do their school or not. So my daughter was the only one who actually did take time off. And like I said, she had gotten the sickest out of the boys. My second child and my fifth child had a cough, and my second child did not get anything. Like, he's been living in a house full of sickies and he's totally fine. So not everyone needed to take school off. But for my daughter who did, I left it up to her to decide. Now, by the time we get to the end of the year, we have to be in school for so many days. So that's what our state requires, that it's 172 days. Usually I end up going like 175 because that's just how it happens. So this year, because she may have to make up a day, but it may end up being like at spring break, that I'll see where we're at for the rest of the year, because we usually finish at the beginning of May too. So if we need to add some more days to make up for the sick time, we'll do it then, because we all want to be done the first week of May. We're done. Have some more coffee now, because so, like I said, the other kids just kept plugging away with their schoolwork, so they didn't have to take any time off. So again, that is what we do when kids are sick, is I kind of just let them play it by ear and let them decide how sick they are, because they know that, and we don't do this a lot, and so that's why it's easy enough when they actually are sick to just be like, okay, take what you need. And also then they know, like, they may have to make up those days at the end of the year. So they are very much incentivized to only do when they absolutely find it necessary to do. Okay. So that's what you do when you're a work from home mom and you're a homeschool mom and everyone is sick, is take the time that you need, set aside in your budget money for sick days. And it's also a good thing to set aside for vacation time the same way as well. Set that aside. Work with good clients who are understanding and will cover for you. And then take the rest that you need, because you're not doing anyone else any good by working while you're sick. You're just going to wear yourself out even more. So on that note, we are going to wrap it up. And I wanted to remind you that you can watch these videos and you can also listen to the podcast. These are available on the podcast. Oh, and before I forget, so I was interviewed, and it thankfully was recorded last month, but it just went live this week. I was like, there's no way I could have recorded anything. But yeah, I was interviewed about being a momtrepreneur, so I will definitely leave the link for that podcast below, and be sure to check it out, because it was a really enjoyable interview. I enjoyed doing it. And also, every Monday, the newest show is posted for the podcast and on YouTube. So this past show, I talked about all of my birthing stories. Now, my sister, she just texted me before I came on. She's like, you buried the headline. You should have called it like, I almost gave birth in the Lincoln Tunnel or something like that, because I did. But instead, I just went through like being induced, having an epidural, doing water birth, and yes, the story of almost giving birth in the Lincoln Tunnel is in there as well. So definitely check that out, and I will leave the link below for that one as well. And if you haven't seen it yet, we have our entire Keep Calm Mom On collection, which I'm really proud of this one. So it has a journal, notebook, and these are dot grid journals. I prefer dot grid. Can't really see it on the camera. Just because then I could, if I want to write this way or draw something out this way, I can, or I can do it like this. So that's why I like the dot grid. And of course we have the mug and the shirts. So be sure to check that out as well. And I am so glad you chatted with me today, and I would love to hear from you. So be sure to drop a comment below. And if there is a topic that you want me to cover, let me know. I am totally open and game to covering any topics that you throw my way. So I will see you in the next show, wonderful momtrepreneurs.